Hey, I'm Joel with Coreware, and we are here at the Powder Room again. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have Barry introduce our SIG expert, and he's going to tell us all about this beautiful section of SIG firearms. So you take it away, Barry. I'm going to get out of the way here.
This is Tori Kirkland. He's one of our best people here at the Powder Room, and he's going to talk to you about the SIG Sauer section that we're in right now.
Okay, so here we are with Tori. I didn't know his name. He said he's a horrible speller, so his name's actually Tony. I don't know whether to take him serious or not, but is it Tori or Tony?
It's Tori.
Okay.
It's Tori.
So Tori's going to tell us something about the SIG section here. What do you call this section?
So this is our, we call it the SIG section, but we are a SIG Elite Dealer. We're one of 46 in the world that can call ourselves an Elite Dealer.
That's pretty impressive. So we're going to go over here to the fun section, and if you'll follow me, I know it's not going to be that much fun, so we're going to move really quickly. So come on. So here we are, surrounded by everything SIG. And from what I understand, is it called Elite Dealer or how?
Yes.
Okay. SIG.
Yes, it is a SIG Elite Dealer.
Okay.
So that's their top tier of dealership.
Okay. And basically, the way I understand it, it's just a SIG store within a store, basically.
Correct.
And they're not going to put their store inside of a trash compactor. So this is it's a really exclusive club. I liken it to, I'm a techie guy, so I liken SIG to Apple. So SIG is the Apple of guns. You've got Apple and Windows or Apple and Android. So I really think SIG is really classy. They're really, high-end kind of guns. So what all do you carry here? Is it just guns, or I see T-shirts and magazines, and what exactly do you carry?
Yeah. So of course guns are the main draw, but we carry all things SIG, from swag, from trainers, which include airsoft and pellet guns. We carry SIG optics. We carry accessories as far as grip modules, barrels, the FCUs, which we can get into later. Okay. Different magazines, accessories for the tread, rifles, holsters, pretty much a little bit of everything.
Awesome. So I see right here, this is an air rifle?
That's correct.
Wow. And I remember when these came out, that's actually got some heft to it.
That's correct.
So these are not toys. These are actually training implements, right?
Correct. So SIG designs their air rifles to be about the same weight as a actual rifle, so that when you're training, at least the weight's going to be the same when you pick up your real rifle.
Right, which is huge. If you've ever trained with any kind of, laser pistol or anything like that, they really want to mimic the size and weight of the actual gun that you're training with, because you're training your subconscious to do things, and if your subconscious runs into a wall, it can cause some delay there. So that's really neat that they do that. And I see they have their own CO2 cylinders and magazines and everything. Huh? They make their own ammo.
Yep.
Their own pellets or BBs.
Right.
That's really cool, man. Are these a big seller around these parts?
Actually, surprisingly, yes.
Okay.
People come in all the time looking for the pellet guns and the airsoft.
That is really
guns for a little extra training.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's really neat. So what is your favorite, out of this whole section, where will your coworkers most likely find you drooling?
So probably over here in the AR cabinets.
All right, well let's head over to the AR cabinets and take a look.
All right.
Okay, so Tori's brought us over here to the rifle cabinet, which I can see the floor is not yet stained, but I can see there has been some drooling over here. So I wouldn't doubt, I've seen some things in here that I would drool over as well. So Tori, you're going to tell us about your favorite SIG rifle?
Yes. So actually this is a pistol.
Okay.
But it is on the MCX platform.
Okay.
Which also comes in rifle versions.
Right.
But this one here is the Rattler Canebrake. So it's a 300 blackout with a 5.5-inch barrel. It comes suppressor ready. This is a inert suppressor
Right.
on it
Yeah.
to give the look, but the handguard can accept a suppressor right up in there. It's a piston-driven system, which makes it a little more reliable. SIG's really nailed it on,
Right.
on that system, in my opinion. But yes, this is right now one of my favorite on the AR style platforms.
Right. Yeah, I remember when these came out. When I worked for a distributor in the past, our SIG dealer was telling, or our SIG rep was telling us, this has been in development for a while, and they were doing it for, some special people in smaller vehicles, or special people in vehicles to be able to really manipulate that gun in tight quarters. So
Yep.
I think they nailed it with this, didn't they?
I do. I agree. And talking with some SIG folks on our end, they said, and I'm not sure, this is a 300 blackout, so I'm not sure if it was that caliber, but maybe it was a 5.56. But they said that this was developed to be able to clear a house and then step out of the house and engage targets up to 300 meters.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's very impressive for something that small.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're looking at 300 yards. That's life-saving right
Yep,
there.
Exactly.
Reach out and touch someone. Well, that's really neat, and I like how everything's a pistol today.
Yeah.
And I totally agree, though. But it's sad we have to say hey, it's a pistol. It's a beautiful, beautiful firearm.
Yep.
SIG has really done a great job with pretty much all their firearms are just. It's class. I mean, you
agree.
can smell it. It's just
Yep.
class. SIG's really, really all about the class. So,
Yep.
a lot of people may not know this, but SIG actually has made a big splash in the optics world as well.
Yep.
So,
That is
you
correct.
guys have a pretty good selection?
We do. We can not only sell you a firearm, but we can hook you up with the optic to go on it as well.
That's awesome. So let's go take a look at their optics. Okay, so Tori brought us over to all the optics. I wasn't aware. I think I was aware, but I wasn't totally aware. They actually make binos.
Yep. So they make binoculars, rangefinders, a little bit of it all. They even make binoculars that have rangefinders in them.
Right, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Now, I was aware when the SIG BDX came out.
Yep.
I was aware. I told our SIG dealer at the time, or our SIG rep, I said, this is going to do to optics what the iPhone did to the App Store, basically.
Yeah.
Because to be able to, transfer that data from your phone, weather data, ballistics, all that stuff, and immediately change your reticle and change your point of impact or whatever, point of aim.
Yep.
To be able to do all that from your phone, from an app, is revolutionary. Are you guys doing pretty good with the SIG BDXs, or?
Yeah. We sell a lot of them to, it turns, your average everyday shooter into somebody. You don't have to dial up your adjustments, so you just you just range it. It's pulling data from the app on weather and windage, so it sends you a dot to hold over. You just put the dot on the target and shoot.
I don't think people realize how powerful and easy that. It will make anybody a great shot, and just to be able to laze that target and see the dot make the adjustment automatically is like, what the heck is. Marksmanship's going out the window, but hey, you're not going to miss, with the SIG BDX.
Well, it's not just, you still have to be able to have a good trigger pull
you
and
do.
all that, but you just take some of the complication
Right.
of changing distances.
Right.
And so you take a average shooter, and they can now engage targets at different distances with, different windages. So
Right.
It allows everybody to, get that competition level
Right.
Of shooting.
It really is. It's SIG BDXs. If you haven't heard about it, you need to go check it out. But the fun stuff, because we all like the short little rifles. You can run in and out of your house or your car with them. They're tiny and they're just cute and cuddly. Well, they need some love as well, and you guys obviously have some love that you can show the rifles and pistols here.
Yes. So when talking about red dots, magnifiers, that kind of thing, to go on the shorter firearms. I love how SIG's nomenclature is. So all of SIG's red dots are going to be a Romeo.
Okay.
All of SIG's magnifiers are a Juliet. So
it's a love story.
A Romeo-Juliet combo.
It's a freaking love story. That's awesome.
You can see down here they sell them as combo kits,
right,
or just as red dots, magnifiers on the side. But it's always a Romeo and Juliet.
That is really neat.
Yeah.
So I've got on my battle rifle, it's a POF. No offense to SIG. SIG's a great rifle, but this particular one, I've got a setup of a I don't know what it is. It's a EOTech, and I've got a magnifier, and this is what I want to talk about. This magnifier looks like a freaking mobile home sitting on top. It's so big, and I'm looking at how sleek that is, and just to be able to, I know that it's function over, the looks and everything, but you do want your rifle to look good, and that right there, that slim line, profile and everything, that is really, really sexy. Is that like a 3?
Yes.
3?
So these two are actually a great example. So this combo kit comes with the 3 micro, so it is true to its name, as you're pointing out. The one sitting beside it over here is actually a Juliet 6, so it is a 6 power.
Wow.
So that's a little bit beefier.
Yeah.
As you can see.
That's the size of my 3, and I'm not going to give you the name of it, but yeah, it's. Yeah, that's really, really sleek.
So SIG has figured out how to give you, everything you need in a small package. Package.
Yep. And their glass, I don't know if you know this, but their glass is actually made by, I'm going to try to say this, hopefully. Don't murder me in the comments. If you do, it's okay. Swarovski. So Swarovski makes really, really great glass. And they are crystal clear. Their optics are crystal clear. So anything that you get SIG-wise, as far as optics goes, you're going to have some first-rate glass in there. Now, I'm seeing up here, this looks like that looks like an expensive reflection.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do we have here?
So this is SIG's Echo line. These are actually thermal scopes.
Okay.
So we have one over here. This is a 1 to 6 power scope. They also make a 2 to 12 power.
Oh, yeah.
Really
reach out there. Right.
Yeah. And so some of the nighttime hunters, the predator hunters, the hog hunters. Right. Down here in Florida.
Right.
We have a lot of that. They come in here, and I show this to them, and they're really impressed.
Right.
From the thermal scopes that they were using before.
Yeah. And a lot of people may not know what a thermal is, but a thermal, you can't really hide from it unless you want to carry a plate of glass around with you in the woods or anything. I think glass is the only thing you can't really see through because it's picking up the heat emanating off of objects. So if you're hot or if you differ from your ambient temperature, you cannot hide. And do you know is it like a 320 or 384 or 620 as far as the clarity?
I don't know.
Okay.
All I can tell you is when I'm playing with them, you can make out facial features on people.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And I know because I've played around with a couple of them. I know that they've got the rainbow, so you can have the the different colors, portray different temperatures, and I think it's black hot, white hot,
yes,
and probably red hot as well. So
there's more than that on here. There's Tyrian, there's like you said, white hot, black hot. There's a bunch of them.
Right. That's really cool. So again, I'm more of a techie guy than the gun stuff. I love the gun stuff and the optics and stuff, but I'm more of a techie guy. And when Apple comes out with something, usually Android or all the other phone makers or computer makers, they've already done it, right? But when Apple comes out with it, it's really, and I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but it's done right. They're not going to release it until it's done right, and it looks like SIG is doing the same thing as far as you can go get you an optic or a thermal, and it may have the basics, but to be able to give you all those different color palettes is really impressive. Yep. Well, that's really neat. So you got your BDXs here. We got our rifle dots, red dots, and our thermals, and we've got our binos. So that's a really impressive. You've got another little. Yeah, that's a BDX
so
right
more,
there.
more BDX over there. We ran out of room.
No, that's great. That's great. And, this is really impressive as far as having one of these. We talked about it earlier. Is, basically your SIG Elite dealer, it's basically a SIG store inside of a store. But to have this much room is not common, amongst a lot of the SIG dealers as far as, being a SIG Elite dealer. So they've got a wide range of product. I know we've got some pistols. I think that's the last thing we'll talk about, because this is, I know I get long-winded, but we'll walk over to the pistols, and I want you to tell me what your favorite pistol is as far as what SIG puts out, and I think we'll end it there, okay?
Okay, sounds
All right,
good.
let's go over there. Okay, so here we are in the same counter we looked at the last pistol, which to me is a rifle. I mean, it is. It's a rifle. But anyway, so Tori's going to show us. You built this recently, right?
Sort of, kind of.
Okay.
Made a few modifications
I gotcha.
to it just to soup it up. We're going to offer it as a package.
Okay. Well, that's actually awesome. A lot of people do that, and with SIG, they're probably they control a little bit of it. Like, hey, you gotta.
They give us a little leeway as
Right,
well, though.
right. Which says a lot about the facility doing that. They're not just going to let anybody do stuff to their stuff. Now, my question is, you've got so many different pistols over here.
Yeah.
SIG has a ton of different. I know they've got the 226, the 229 is the numbers that I hear a lot. The 365
Yes.
is a really big one. What are we looking at here, though?
So we're looking at a 320. So
Okay.
the 226, the 229, those are part of their classic line.
Okay.
The 365 is part of their newer line.
Right.
It is in line with the 320. What
Okay.
the 320 is the civilian version of the firearm that just won the military
Right,
contract, the
right.
M17 and the M18.
Gotcha.
So what we are looking at here is a compact 320, and this is a Scorpion version. So that's the grip, the color scheme.
Right.
And what we've done is paired it with a Romeo Pro 1. Again, go back to the Romeo red dots.
Right.
Even for the pistol red dots, still a Romeo, but we've paired it with that Romeo Pro 1, and we're going to offer this as a complete package.
That's an epic package. Yep. You got some night sights there.
Correct.
Yeah, I know that they had offered for a while there, they were offering the military version as a. Are they doing that still?
Yes, they still are.
Okay.
They still are. We actually have an M18 in our cabinet, but again, the 320 is just kind
Right.
of the
Yeah.
more common one.
Right.
The really cool thing that I like about this line is the actual firearm itself is the FCU. What I was mentioning to you earlier, that stands for the Fire Control Unit.
Right.
So that can actually be pulled out of a grip, and you can
Right.
change grips
Right.
to the flavor of the day.
Right.
So you can have a black grip, coyote grip. They even have a white grip.
Right.
So,
Well, that's strange.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Snow days.
everybody's getting creative with what
Right.
their guns look like these days.
Right.
I like the white grip for ladies or men who
Right.
carry purses.
Well, yeah.
So when you open your Mary Poppins bag
Right.
with everything jumbled in there,
Right.
that white's going to stand out.
It
so
absolutely
you can go
will.
right to your firearm.
Right.
I think that's a great idea and a great
Yeah.
reason
A lot of
for
people don't think about that.
those interchangeable grips.
Right. Yeah. All my stuff's black, so when I open a bag, it's like I'm colorblind, so
Digging
I have to
into a
keep it
black
black.
hole.
Yeah. I don't want to stand out that bad. But yeah,
Correct.
that's really neat. Yeah, I remember seeing something. Somebody demonstrated that to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
so what's so special about it? And they just kind of took it all apart,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a pretty big feature.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the Scorpion model, for example, is actually a metal frame. So they've kind of mixed their classic line metal frame guns with the polymer.
Nice.
Normally 320s when they came out were polymer
Right.
grips.
Right.
But this grip is a metal frame. It adds some of that weight back into it, makes it a real smooth shooter.
Yeah, that's really awesome, man. Well, I'm thoroughly impressed with you guys' SIG store within a store. You guys being I can see why you would be a SIG Elite dealer, because your entire facility is just, it oozes class. And I really appreciate you showing me around, and I can't wait to come back. And who knows, man, maybe this place, the size of it will double by the time we come back. That would be really cool. So, Tori, thank you so much for inviting us in and showing us around.
Anytime.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Sir.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yeah.